Good morning and welcome to Travel Counsellors. Welcome to our August webinar. And for those of you who've tuned in before, each month we try and focus on a different topic. So last month we were looking at sustainability, and this month we're going to talk about social media and how that can propel your business and how we use it here at Travel Counsellors. So with that in mind, I'm happy to say that I am joined on the sofa this morning with Pippa and with Catherine, who we're going to talk about their use of the various different platforms. Now, before we do that, I just want to have a little update on our world. Business is absolutely buoyant at the moment. You can see with our July trade-in, we continue to see bookings increase week on week with over 67 million in new sales in July, which is just phenomenal. The UK leisure sales were up 43% on the same period in FY 2019, and all of our markets now, all of the UK and our international offices, are all trading above 2019 levels. And one sector of the market that really was hit through COVID was our corporate travel, so all of our business travel counsellors. But that is really bouncing back with our best ever sales months for our UK corporate travel team, and they were 14% up on 2019 with over £14,000 worth of bookings made in July, and over 130 new accounts were won. Some of those are trading now, but a lot of those will be trading shortly. So hopefully when we have in September the August update, those figures will be even better. So I'd just like to introduce Pippa and Catherine. So Catherine, you've been with us since 2017.
Yep.
And you came through our academy.
Yep.
And Pippa, you've been with us from 2020, and you already had a travel business before you joined TC. So, Catherine, do you want to just tell me a little bit about your background before you came to us?
Yeah, so before I joined Travel Counsellors, I mainly had a lot of different corporate jobs, and I got made redundant from the co-op where I worked in Manchester. I worked there a long time.
Yeah.
But then it turns out I was really upset about being made redundant, but then I took some time off, and then I found Travel Counsellors, and I don't think I'll ever leave doing this job. I love it.
Pippa, you had quite a niche business prior, didn't you?
I did, yes. I had a ski company which was specific to Bulgaria, so I just sold the 3 ski resorts in Bulgaria. So my client base was purely ski. I have skied all over the world, but didn't sell it. So that's how I came to Travel Counsellors. But during the pandemic, it was an opportunity to sort of expand my business. Yeah. I was having to do IT contracting as well to prop up the ski business. So the pandemic kind of forced that issue.
Right.
I was laid off as a contractor doing the IT work, and so I was forced into making decisions about my future. Yeah. And I loved the ski business. I loved doing travel, and thought this is the way I want to go.
Yeah. So you already had, in a sense, a client base, albeit of skiers.
That's right. And I had a good Facebook following of skiers, of Bulgaria fans, and I had to sort of tell them that I would no longer just be posting about skiing. You will see more holidays, and I will now be selling sunny holidays as well as safaris, treks, you name it. Yeah. And I lost a few who were specifically following me because of Bulgaria, but I was still selling Bulgaria, so I retained some, and my client base then continued to come to me for their summer holidays as well.
Yeah. And you use Facebook as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. Mainly Facebook and Instagram, and LinkedIn as well. Yeah. Although I haven't done much on that recently, just because everything's so busy, and you just have to focus on. So I've just focused on Facebook and Instagram for the time being.
Right. Yeah. And for you, in a sense, you had to start from scratch, really, didn't you, to build that database. So how did social media have an impact on that? Was it? And would you have seen that as your main area of business, or did it just supplement?
Yeah, it's definitely a supplement, because the main way of getting good business is referrals, absolutely. Yeah. But obviously, you know, with marketing, there's loads of different ways to get your message out there, and that the social media combined with the referrals and everything really helped to get my business off to a good start.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I used quite a lot of LinkedIn, because when I first started as a travel counsellor, I had a lot of contacts from my previous jobs, so I was using those as well to refer me at the beginning. And then I did quite a lot of networking, and this kind of people that you meet at networking, they're not necessarily on Facebook and Instagram, they might be, but you can easily connect with them on LinkedIn. And I was been quite active on LinkedIn for quite a while. Yeah. Just taking a bit of a dip at the moment because it's just really busy, as you've said before.
Which is a great way to be using it. But and you use LinkedIn as well, Pippa, don't you?
I do use LinkedIn. I didn't used to. I've been a member of LinkedIn for a long time, but only since I started networking have I really used LinkedIn in earnest. I don't post as often as I should, but I do reach out to grow my network. And when I've been going to networking meetings, even just as a visitor, I've got the list of attendees and reached out to them all on LinkedIn and added them as connections, because you just never know where your next bit of business is going to come from.
Exactly. And I think it's, you know, if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, it would all have been about going out in your local community and, you know, the network. And the business has always been built on repeats and referrals. But really, this is just another platform to enable you to not just reach new customers, but obviously engage with your current client. And you did a TikTok post, didn't you? Do you want to tell us?
Yes, I decided I like a challenge, and I was fairly active on Facebook with a good following. Instagram was going okay, but I was really struggling to grow my followers. And somebody said, try TikTok and see how quickly you can grow. So I did a bit of an experiment, and I put the same posts on Instagram that I did on TikTok, and I grew very, very quickly on TikTok. I literally grew 500 posts in the space of, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks. 500 followers in the space of 3 or 4 weeks, whereas Instagram had taken me years to get to 500 followers. And I started posting 4 TikToks a day. And each one just grew and grew and grew. And then a couple of them got really quite big. I haven't posted recently, and the reach has completely dropped off. It really is important to be consistent, I've discovered. But back then, when I was doing 4 posts a day, the reach was just going ballistic.
Because I was going to ask you, you know, what is the most important factor when it comes to social media? I guess for you, consistency of posting. Would you say the same?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely try and post as much as I can. I think the good thing at the moment is that because we are so busy with bookings and inquiries, is all the social media that's provided for us by the marketing team, which means that if I haven't got time to create my own posts and write things from scratch, then I can just literally use everything that I'm being sent, which is absolutely great at the moment in particular. But the posts that do get the most engagement are ones that you've written yourself, with a picture of yourself, you with your family, me travelling, that kind of thing is just great for engagement. And testimonials as well. I've been doing Testimonial Tuesday, which I've just started doing recently, which seems to be going down quite well. People seem to like that, so that's good, especially when they get a mention.
Yeah, I think it's just when you can see your posts are genuine. Yes. And it's personal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I guess you both have that target audience in mind. So you are mindful of what you post, and because there's nothing worse than just seeing sort of offer after offer after.
Yeah.
Offer.
Exactly. And the offers, I think, for me, have had the least response.
Yeah.
If you post something that actually you're asking people to comment on or respond to, and definitely totally agree with what you're saying there about when it's personal, if it's about you, people like that and they engage with that, and they then ask questions. Oh yes, I'd like to do that, or lovely to see you doing that, Pippa. Like today, coming to head office, you know, I'll put that on a story, and I'll probably get a decent reach with that.
Take a little photo on the sofa.
Yeah.
But it is just something interesting, isn't it? So, and either of you have help posting? I know some TCs have like an assistant, or do you just both do it all yourself?
I do it all myself. In the early days when I was struggling to get my grips with how things worked, my kids were a fantastic source of help to me.
Yeah.
How do I do this? How do I do that? It's tech, isn't it?
Yeah.
So teenagers are always a great help, but I have got a TC assistant now, but I haven't got her doing my social media.
You're still doing that?
I do that myself. I get myself into little habits. So first thing in the morning, I lie in bed and put a couple of stories on.
Yeah.
That's my sort of habitual thing to do before I even get out of bed.
Yeah. Wow. And do you schedule posts? Because I know just...
Sometimes. If I have... I think there's an element of posting too much as well, particularly when it comes to offers. So if I've got a few offers, I think, I'd like to put all those out, but not all in one go. I'll schedule them across the week. And I think it's also important to mix it up. So post and stories and something personal and a testimonial, and try and make it varied, because if you put post after post after post with offers, people just swipe through those.
Yeah. And would you say there's one platform that works better than another, or would you say equally? And we're probably mostly talking Instagram and Facebook, are we?
Yeah.
For me personally, Facebook has probably worked best, but I think that's because I had the following already. I've got more followers on Facebook. I want to grow my Instagram. I'm still fighting with that one. Everything I post on Instagram posts on Facebook as well. And I'm still fighting with the Reels algorithms. There's nonsensical as to which Reels take off and which ones don't. But I'll carry on trying and experimenting.
I think I'm more of a traditional user, so I'll just do Facebook posts, Instagram posts. I've tried to do the stories and things, but it's just having time to do everything.
And it's got to be what works for you, and equally what you feel comfortable doing. Not everybody will feel comfortable doing TikTok.
No, I don't think I would.
But it's got to work for you more than anything. And equally, I think it's nice that if you're not somebody that is massively into social media, you can just use the posts that we've created and or share from our TC page. So really we've got things for everybody, haven't we?
But I think most of my customers are on, not all of them, but most of them are mainly on Facebook. And my children say, Facebook's for old people, but they mean people my age. But that's my clients. So Facebook, although it seems to be going out of fashion a little bit, is actually still really where all my clients are.
Generating business.
I don't know whether I've gained any new customers from TikTok. I've certainly generated some conversation, and the reach has been good. And it's all about reaching and what's the word? It's all about your visibility, isn't it? Getting yourself known out there. I may have got some more followers on Facebook and Instagram as a result of TikTok. I don't know. But like you were saying before, definitely referrals is how my business has grown. I don't think it's grown through TikTok.
And this obviously is just an extra, isn't it? Extra avenue.
I think also it was putting myself out of my comfort zone, because what I didn't like doing was recording myself. Nobody likes seeing themselves or hearing themselves, and that was the thing that I really struggled most. Everyone said, go live on Instagram, and I thought, God, I can't. But, and I kind of forced myself to do that for TikTok, because they have much nicer filters on TikTok.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Now, we're just going to have a little reshuffle on the sofa, and I'm going to be joined with Steph from our marketing team, who's going to talk about the support that we give at head office. Now, just while we do that little reshuffle, I'm just going to play a short video of lovely comments that our customers have sent in about our travel counsellors and about the support network here in Manchester.
All I want
morning, Steph. Thanks for joining me on the sofa this morning. And you're going to talk about the marketing that we do for social media. Yep. So I'll just let you talk on.
Okay, no problem. Hi, everybody. I came to tell you about what we have on offer, really, from the marketing team when it comes to social media. And listening to the two guys who've just spoken before me, I think is really interesting, because one of my key things that I say about social media is that do what works for you. So there's no requirement to do specific social media channels, to join TikTok or any of that. The key thing is that you find the social media channels that work for you and for your business, and you use them well. So I think that's just an important point to make to begin with, if people are panicking about having to use TikTok or Pinterest or Instagram or anything else that they're not comfortable with. It's completely up to you which channels you use to grow your business. Now, in the marketing team, obviously, we do spend a lot of time creating content for our travel counsellors to use on their social media. So we will create assets on a weekly basis, and these will generally be pictures that you can use on your Facebook or your Instagram or your LinkedIn. Or even Instagram stories as well, we have started to make now, because we have a lot of travel counsellors using Instagram. So we do create lots and lots of different content for you each week. We have what we call the marketing hub, which is where we save all that content. You can access that whenever you want, and download the assets that are available on there and use those as you see fit, basically, on your social media channels. And we will do those assets for a variety of different things. I have got a couple of slides with some examples. Thank you very much, Jamie. So there's just a few very random examples that I chose of different things that we've created assets for. So the one on the left, Know Before You Go, was a TC request, where they wanted to be able to explain to customers about things that they needed to check before they travel. So have you got insurance? Is your passport in date, etc. Open for business, because obviously last year we had a lot of TCs weren't able to make as many bookings as they obviously wanted to. So we wanted them to be able to let their customers know that they were working, they were available, and they were open for business. And then Greenleaf, that's one of our sustainability initiatives, where our hotels have to meet certain criteria to be marked as Greenleaf. So that's a very varied few examples of some of the assets that we have available. So we'll create them for all sorts of different things, if we win awards, anything like that. And as the guys on the sofa said before, it's up to you what you do with those. If you don't want to use our assets, that's absolutely fine. If you want to create your own content, that isn't a problem. We will also help in terms of showing you how to post things on social media, the kind of content that works well, etc. So it's not just about the assets that we provide, it's also about the training, and I will come on to that in a second. If you could just go to the calendar slide, Jamie. This is one of our kind of recent initiatives that we've created in the marketing team. We started at the beginning of the year, and we were asked for a marketing calendar with suggested posts for each month, and it was so successful that we've done it every month since. So each month, this is obviously for September 2022, so I've already done this for the month ahead. We will create one of these calendars. Again, it gets uploaded to the marketing hub with a suggested post for every single month of the day of the month. And any of the ones that are underlined will have a clickable link where it takes the TC to the exact asset that they need to use for that post. So it's just a really, really simple way for us to be able to help you if you are struggling, if you're not sure what to post each day on social media. It's just a way for you to be able to get to go straight to that and get an idea of content that you could post. You might not even use those posts on those days we've specified. It's for you to do what you want with. So, but it is one of the things we found that a lot of TCs have fed back on that's worked really well. And then, as I mentioned, obviously we have TCs coming to us when they join who some have no marketing and social media knowledge whatsoever. Some are very experienced, and that is absolutely fine. It's our job to kind of bring everyone up to the same level. So when you go through induction, there is a large part of that induction process about social media and marketing. We will tell you all about the different channels, the kind of content to share, what works well on social media. There's loads and loads of great content in there, and you'll hear from other TCs in that training as well, which I think is really key to find out what worked for them. And then once you do join, we obviously have, as I said, the Marketing Hub, which also has hints and tips, training guides. We do videos. Myself and a few other members of the team will do monthly webinars. So we did one not that long ago on Instagram Reels and how to use Reels to grow your business. We tend to do, as I say, one a month on a topic that we feel most TCs have asked about. So as I say, there's lots and lots of training available for you. I think social media is one of those things that you either love it or you hate it. But if you hate it, it's all about embracing it and realising how important it can be for your business, and that there is plenty of support here available for you if it is something that you don't love. And we, as I say, all that content that we create as well hopefully makes it much, much easier for all our travel counsellors to embrace social media fully for their businesses.
Thank you very much. I think I just absolutely love that calendar, because to me that would be invaluable, just to be able to plan the month before what you're going to do, and if you can schedule some of those posts, etc. Because I'll be the first to admit I'm not the most creative. I'm not out there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, but that's probably it. So to be able to have that is invaluable.
It was, I think, as well, like you said about scheduling. That was why we did it as a month in one go, because then it means if you are super busy, like a lot of travel counsellors are, you can schedule a month's worth of content in one go, and things may change. You know, you might want to go in and change those assets if something pops up in the month. That's absolutely fine, but it just means that you've got something there for a whole month of content. Even if you haven't got time to create anything yourself, it takes the stress away, I think.
Fab. Thank you very much. Well, hopefully you found that informative, and we've got a slide just coming up, Jamie, if you've got our future events that we've got on. So our next webinar is on the 14th of September, and then again on the 12th of October. And we've got our next Discovery Day on the 28th of September. Now, for those who don't know what our Discovery Days are, we invite you to come to head office in Manchester. They're on a Wednesday, so that you can sit in on TCTV and see, that's our main show, watch that go out live to our travel counsellors and just show how we communicate. And everybody loves to come and sit in the audience of that. And then we'll have a presentation. We will give you a tour of the building, so that when we talk about the support network on offer, you can see firsthand. And we'll also have a travel counsellor that will come in and just do a very informal Q&A session. So it's just to give you a real feel for the business. Anybody who's considering, I always say, you just can't have enough information before you make any sort of decision. So we would invite you to come to head office. If you want to get involved, or if you have any questions, please, we'll put a slide up at the end, just with the contact details, with the telephone number and the email address for the team. Anything at all, anything that we can help with, please do get in touch. Many thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.